Hey, good morning. How's it going? I was sitting here and I glanced up at the chat and saw Illustrating say that they would say goodbye to their family dog today. And that's I am still reeling from that because that is the hardest thing in the world. I'm very sorry. Um been there too many times and it's the worst thing ever. Let me try to turn the vibe around. Happy Friday. I'm gonna draw some names today. It's gonna be fun. Um Where it's where, fun times will be had. I'm gonna do as many as I can. The way this works, if you are new, is that I start first come, first serve from when the stream goes live to try to keep this as fair as possible. You do have the ability to jump the line with a super chat of $20 and up if that's something that you want to do. And, that's about it. Just a couple quick announcements before I start drawing the names. First announcement is sip of water. Second announcement is we're having a big sale. I will announce that in a minute, but I want to tell you about some cool new products. I mentioned this, you may have seen this, but I put together a new vector texture pack for Adobe Fresco that works in the shapes library, and it's all this real analog texture that I made, including some halftones, and it allows you to have some gritty, real texture and have it be vector at the same time. Pretty neat. So check that out. In addition to that, yesterday I finally finished and got uploaded a, a new font called Frankie Gothic. It's a little pun on Franklin Gothic, just a nice clean sans serif typeface. But it's just a very bold, chunky, hand drawn display typeface that has some wonky baselines. It's all uppercase, but the lowercase letters have like a more wonky baseline. So if you want it to be a little crazier, use a lowercase. If you want it to be a little more precise, you use the uppercase version. Here's some examples of it. And I realized that it had been a while since I had done a Fresco bundle because the first bundle doesn't include a lot of the new stuff. So there's a bundle available so that if you wanted a bunch of these shapes libraries, you could get a good deal by getting the pack, and you get some. So the new bundle includes the retro lettering embellishments, which is a bunch of old archival type stuff references that I made into a shapes library. Also works as vector. My lettering frameworks, where it's a good starting point for lettering compositions. 100 vector skulls. Those are all in the bundle too. So if you want any of this stuff, now would be a good time to do it because we have. Let me turn off those things. Get what? Son of a ah, guys. There's too many buttons. You could use the promo code buy summer and get 20% off your order. So check it out. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting so many spam text messages, and like I'm on do not disturb, and it somehow came through. How? I don't know. So promo code buy summer. If you forget it, it's on the header of the website when you go there. There's a link. There's a link in the description. All right, let's switch over to my iPad so I can draw some stuff. Oh, also, real quick, see that little buy animation? My video on Tuesday is a bunch of super easy ways to animate lettering and type in Adobe Fresco, and that's one of the things that I make in there. So Tuesday, if you want to do that, it's easier than you think. Okay. You guys ever heard of me switching to my iPad and having a blank screen? There we go. Okay. Uh, the last message you asked if the vector texture does it work in Adobe Illustrator. So the shape library is a specific Adobe Fresco tool. It's like the shapes tool, which isn't in Illustrator. However, if you use the texture in Fresco, you can open it in Illustrator and then it will still be vector. So technically no, but also yes, because you could bring it into Illustrator. Okay. First name on the list is Jason Caldeira. Who knows if I said that right? There's a whole lot of letters in there. Actually, it's not really that many. I think it feels like it because there's the E-I-R-A, so it seemed like a bunch of vowels, but it's not. It's not that complicated. I'm sorry for making it seem crazier. All right, let me turn on some back jams so I feel like I don't have to mumble too much. Okay, let me write it down like I always do. Make sure the smoothing is down so that I can write quickly. Jason. This is one that I could mess around and mix up some letters or add in some other letters because you know that's how I roll. Caldeira. Okay. How do we start? How do we ever even start? I might just start playing around with the last name. I can't help myself when there's a C. I want to do this like long curve thing because it's satisfying to draw. I wonder if I like connected it to like a lowercase L like that. I don't know. We're just playing right now. We don't know what's happening. What if this stayed uppercase? We just threw that in there. Nobody knows what we're doing. This is a hot mess right now, but you gotta play first. You gotta play. You gotta pay to play. Why does this look crazy? What am I drawing with? Oh. That's why. I was like, well, this looks wrong. I thought it was just a size. I'm just using the hard round brush and a tiny size. That's crazy. I'm glad we figured that out. Oh, okay, so it's Caldeira. Yeah, that sounds better than what I said. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now I feel better. Now I'm not in a crazy zone. On a side note, can I tell you how hard it is to find a good blank hat to use? I've been wanting to do some embroidered hats for a long time, and I got like 9 samples, and they're all just the worst. And it's weird because it's like the issue with them, the ones that I don't like, is like they seem enormous on my head, which is crazy because I have a giant dome and I have to like loosen it all the way. And then I put it on my head and it's like, it looks like a tiny little boy with a big hat. And I'm like, how is this happening? And then they're like, low profile hat. And it's like, what? Low profile for who? And I'm like, maybe my head size is just, I don't know. But it is a struggle. I don't know if anyone else struggles with hats, but struggle is real. And then speaking of hats, I've been struggling a lot to do this because I've been wanting to make a hat for a while. But like, do you, my audience, even want a hat with my art on it? Let me know in the chat, because this is important information for me to know. All right, I think this is at a point where I can start doing something to refine it. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing anyway, but let's look at it. Maybe we should do a poll in the chat. Do you still remember how to do that, Matt? We can do a poll to see if anyone wants a hat. Caldeira, you said you're loving the swishy L tucked in there. Thank you so much. I'm trying to figure out what I can do with the J. to like pull it all together. Actually, that might be cool. All right, I think we can make this work. There's just a couple little things that I want to address, but I think I can address them as we go to a tighter version. Just looks a little off balance. I'm wondering if we can solve that with a mild rotation. Let's see. This might be one of the situations where we could add like a little 3D part aspect to balance it out, because it's like a little bit heavy on the left side. Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's tighten it up. I'm thinking this will work better on a dark, like the lettering is going to be white, knocked out of the black shape. So I'm going to put black behind it so that I can draw in white on top of it. Hoover T Justice, you said, I was just going to ask about how you chose what style you want to use with a name, and it's like when people see colors with numbers. I don't know, maybe. I feel like I'm sort of winging it sometimes. I do, like when there's a C at the beginning of a name, I'll often just want to try something with like a swooshy C just because it's like a satisfying shape. And I can just see sort of like combinations of letters and how they might fit together. Sometimes, you know, I don't know at all. Like you may have, regular viewers might know that sometimes I just have no idea and I'm kind of struggle a little bit and then it kind of comes together. Sometimes it comes together quickly, sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, it's an adventure sometimes. I'm realizing I don't know exactly how this connection works here with the C and the A. Might have to fill this in and see what it looks like and maybe make some adjustments. Might need to we'll see. That might be okay. I want to figure out how to make sure there's not like a weird gap over here in this connection between the J and this L. Things are getting a little tight. I think actually if I just shift the sketch over a little bit, that might be all that needs to happen. Skippy, you said, you know, I want hats plural. I appreciate that. Thank you. I've just been wanting to do them for a while, and I guess I'm hesitating because, you know, I gotta order them in bulk. So I want to make sure it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, my audience doesn't want hats. And then I have just a room full of hats that nobody wants. But I guess I could be like one of those people who will like, well, they just ball so hard that they only wear a pair of sneakers one time, and I just wear one of my hats every day, and then I just throw it in the trash because I can't. I just ball so hard that I can't wear it more than once, because that would be for the peasants. I think this, I want to move this over a tiny bit. So I'm gonna cut it and paste it. Caldeira, you said I'm a little heavy on my left side as well, so that track, that's funny. Lambo drove Zambo said bucket hat. I am not gonna do a bucket hat. That is not for me. And I've decided that one of my rules for things that I sell is it has to be something that I would actually use or wear myself. So I cannot do a bucket hat. That would be ridiculous. And I also don't even know if that's a joke or if it's like it has become cool now. I don't even know. While doing this script lettering, I've been working on this font. Like I hadn't done any fonts in so long, and now I'm just like banging them out. And it's mainly because I've said this before, but I got commissioned by Envato to do a font and a brush pack for their marketplace, and I was like overthinking it like crazy, so I like half did a bunch of them, and I liked them all, but they just didn't seem like universal enough to be like my one font on the platform. I was like overthinking it. So we don't like that O at all, in case you were wondering. We're fixing that. But they're fonts that I wanted to do on their own for like my own site. So anyway, I've been finishing them. But one of them is like inspired by this like lettering sheet from like a old sign shop thing, and I've been turning it into this like script font. But man, it's been a struggle because I'm wanting it to have some texture too, but I'm also like simplifying it a little bit so that it doesn't get too heavy as a typeface. But I keep like, I don't know, getting some inconsistencies, and then I have to like keep redrawing letters. And then because it's a script font and I'm like a little bit of a perfectionist. I keep making all these like ligature combinations so that it actually works well. And one of these days I'm going to finish it. I thought I was going to finish it this week for the sale, and I spent a lot of time on it this week, but I'm realizing I have to like redraw a lot of it. If you are a new viewer and you're thinking, hey, this is taking forever, the first one is always slower. Getting in the zone. What would make sense is if I did some warm-ups beforehand, but I can't. I can't be that proactive. I barely get my shit together in time to come online. Okay, now we just need to do the drop shadow part. So let's merge that down. And I'm gonna do a new layer because I wanna I need a little bit of an outline around the whole thing. Doing it on another layer will give me some flexibility in case I mess up. Or I need to like finesse it. Darwin Lister, you said, love watching your stuff. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much. I can't say I'm having a great day yet because my day just started. This is the first thing I'm doing today besides getting my kid ready for school. But this is my first thing besides that. That first project went pretty well. Did involve wrestling him a little bit, but I was able to get him dressed. So I would say that's a success. I also might be delaying because I'm a little anxious about doing the tribute to Watson next because I want it to be very good. Okay, I think let's just load a selection. I don't know why I like to do this, but just to keep it nice and simple, it's all combined. Delete, and then I just wanted to touch up this one little spot here. Okay, Jason, I hope you like it. Thanks for being the first name. Ooh, the poll results are in. We got 97% said I should make a hat. 3% said no. Those are pretty good results. All right. What are we gonna do for Watson? Glad you like it, Caldeira Co. All right, Watson, what are we gonna do for you? I don't know, I gotta just maybe play a little bit and see. What can we do here to make it special? I mean, the heart is maybe a little cheesy, but I feel like it might be okay. Like it might be a nice little addition. Let's see. Use my crispy vector presets for this to use some to try to tie these shapes together in a way that works well. Illustrating, you said just that you taking the time to do this is special. It's appreciated. Thank you so much. Yeah. Kuga Burrito said, howdy Captain. Love the Birdie Club design video. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hanson Designs, you said the embroidered patches would be great. Skippy, you also loved the Birdie Club video. The client was tough, but fair. Was he fair, though, to be honest? I'm glad you liked it. I'm like starting this really tight, but I'm realizing that there's some areas over here that aren't that solidified yet. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm not getting cocky, like I'm ready to do this, and then we find out that I wasn't. Oh, wait. We ran out of space a little bit there. Okay, let's see. Cuckoo Burrito said, do you want extra help for the Birdie Club? Maybe you can get other artists to donate an illustration of a bird that the Birdies Club site can sell a sticker of. You know, that's that would be up to them. I would say maybe feel free to reach out to them, send like a DM on Instagram or something like that, because that's my friend's kids project that you know, I did the design for, but you know, that's their situation. But I'm sure they might be excited to hear that people want to do some stuff. Imagine if I was in Illustrator right now and I could use the offset path tool, though I think it being hand drawn and it being a little less perfect as its value gives it a little bit more character, I think. Alright, hope you like it. You'll be missed, Watson. I didn't spell it wrong, did I? No. Man, that would have been terrible. Cool. Next up is Luis Fox. Skippy, you said, does it have to be an odd number of outlines? Yeah, I don't know. No. I just was thinking the two thick black outlines. Luis Fox. What are we gonna do with this? Your name just looks like it wants to be script, but I'm doing a lot of script today already, but I don't know. Well, there's a reason not to. But maybe we could do something foxy for Fox. Got tricky letters here, but this is kind of fun. What can we do with Luis? Maybe let's see what it looks like in like the same style. Ran out of space. Don't want it to look jammed. Let's abandon that ship. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's see what it looks like if we do like a thin script for Luis to contrast the bold letters of Fox. think this could be fun. Didn't mean to merge that all together. I think I'm gonna do this one in vector 2 because I want to get some sharp points on that fox lettering, but I'm gonna use the gritty vector brush presets for this one. BB Sharpie, which are, you can also use the promo code to get 20% off. I wonder if we could do like an F that curves a little bit more with that L. Illustrating, you said that your daughter says thank you too. Well, you are very welcome. Thank you for the super chat, Alberto. All right, let's see if we can get this Luis lettering in one shot. Can't decide if that's going to be too thin. I think I got to go thicker. Okay. Cuckoo Burrito asked if I'm a fan of some modern board games. Not too familiar. I mean, I'm sure I could get down with playing some board games. I feel like I don't have as much of an opportunity these days to play board games because I have a 4-year-old. And you know, that's not the age for a board game, but I can get down with some board games. Oh, I was like, what is happening? My brush broken? Because I didn't turn off that layer. I am just a little bit curious what it would look like with the full weight, the full line weight. I think I like it better a little bit thin. I hope you like this. I like it. Next up is the super chatter himself, Alberto Bonello. What are we gonna do here? Maybe we could start with like a shape. See if this leads us anywhere. Got like a tricky combination of like the two L's and the O. Could experiment with like a giant, like a 3-letter combo. We'll have to see. Not sure yet. We don't even know what Alberto will look like up here. We do have a good situation with that T with an O next to it because I can tuck into that space. This could have some sort of potential. Let's like refine the shape a little bit and see what that'll do for us. I think I want to use the symmetry to make that starting point a little bit better. I'm gonna use a color to make like a framework. This is basically what my lettering framework set is. What is happening here? What am I doing? Okay. We do have that like N in the middle, so that could be cool. I'm not necessarily going to use all these things, but it might give me some ideas when I sketch. Sometimes just having something like this. When you use the symmetry, sometimes the vector trimming doesn't work well because it's the same line, because you can't trim the same line. But this is just a guide, so it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, let's see if this leads us anywhere interesting. Tattooing, you said, what's your favorite thing about spooky season? The weather? It not being hot? The crisp, cool fall air? And skeletons everywhere? I don't know if that's necessarily going to work on this top one at that point, but maybe better just having it on the bottom anyway. Seems a little forced at the top. I also don't know if I love that shape either. So it could be that we just use that bottom thing and then maybe improvise something for let's see. Maybe it should be smaller. Actually, you know what might be cool if it doesn't curve at all, and like it just sort of is like a rectangular shape above it, like not that high, but we're just filling it in. Be something like this, and then it's like they could both be a little 3D. That could be pretty sick. Then we could do like block letters for Alberto, knocked out of that. I like this direction. Let's make the actual grid that we need to do it. To put those in there. All right. So use symmetry again to get this shape dialed in. Wait, I don't need that yet. It's a ridiculous way to do that, but that's okay. I don't necessarily need to trim these because they're just for guides, but I don't know, visually it's easier for me to use them. They're not distracting me. All right, let's get a tightened up sketch for this. Teak Sif time, you said, can we see your doggo? Dottie is at doggy daycare today. She goes a few times a week because she's got wild energy and she loves to play with the other dogs, and she has a lot of fun there. So unfortunately, she can't make an appearance on this live stream. I will try to get her to appear in more videos. So I'm realizing that we do, like, if we're gonna do something like that little notch, we need to give the other characters some extra style too. So I think we can, like, we don't have to stay tied to this grid. We can like break it up a little bit. So maybe we'll like add some flair to some of these letters. But just having that like loose structure, I think will make it more cohesive. Wow, I just tried to move my pencil, it slammed on the table. Maybe we'll get put some points on the oh, I didn't know we were gonna be doing a badass logo for this one, but that's where we are. Okay, now let's figure this out. So we've got ALBERTO. So we're gonna do some block lettering here. What we're gonna do is divide this up for each letter. Okay. What on earth did I just do? Oh, I was trying to use a different brush. Okay. We can come to that later. Diana Lisa, you said, how long did it take you to animate the character in your tiny art director video? So I used Adobe Character Animator. So once you like make the pieces for the puppet, it's very fast because you just take the audio. I think I actually spent more time editing the audio from like just, you know, an hour of him talking into something that sounded somewhat coherent. Because you know how kids are. They just sort of, and it was hard to get them like comfortable to start talking. So like that was the biggest part. I also just like one of the most time-consuming parts of doing a character for Adobe Character Animator is the different mouth positions. So I literally just stole the mouth from the character I made for myself from the Adobe Character Animator video. So it's actually very easy. And then you just take the audio and then you like calculate the lip sync from that, and it just like automatically does it. And then the movements are pretty simple. You just sort of, you can just like turn on your camera and like move your head and it'll just follow you and record it. It's pretty great. And then like anything else I wanted to add in, like when he gave feedback at the end and I made a video for that. That was all, you know, really easy because I could just take the video he sent me and then just take the audio out of it and bring it into Character Animator, and it would like automatically make the animation. Need to do some weed whacking on this because it's looking a little crazy. I'm loving all the hearts that I'm seeing flying up from the bottom. Thank you all so much. All right, let's weed whack this mess and hope that it looks good. I think they should add in an actual like weed whacker sound effect. I mean, a weed whacker sounds terrible, but I think it could be funny. You could turn it off if you wanted to, but it's just such a, or something, maybe like a little sword sound where it's like, shoo. Oh, look, we missed a spot. Bottom of that end. Oops. But you just get like the most perfect corners. Whoops. Okay, now we need to do this. So I'm gonna do this on another layer to give me some flexibility. I'm just gonna chop out these blocks for the letters. I'm gonna turn off their stuff. All right. Let's see. What can we do for this? I want to like try to keep them kind of. I feel like they should be angular though to match. Instead of just winging it, I'm gonna quickly sketch out how they could work. Okay. That's not an E, that should be a B. Okay. Cucabrito, you said, what's the last bit of our any media movie animation that has added fuel to your inspiration tank? I recently came across a musician and a comedian, PD USA, and I don't know how, I didn't know about his work prior, but man, his music is, I think he's really funny too. His comedy stuff is really good, but I just haven't really been super into like some music in a while. Like I will find myself like going to like a podcast or an audiobook or something, so I feel like I'm like learning something. I don't know, but man, really into his music. He has a recent album, but his album Lean Into It specifically, so freaking good. Okay, just a couple wee little touch-ups here, but I'm gonna do it by cutting this stuff out first, and then I can just touch up the black stuff. This one going a little bit slower than usual, but you know, want to do a good job for Alberto. Not that I don't want to do a good job for everyone, but you know. Actually, the 3D. Maybe. I guess it'll help tie it together. Kaylee Karani, you said, I have a hard time stopping once I get into a project, but I know it's good to take a step back break. Do you give yourself any rules to take a break? I wish. I tried, well, honestly, when I made like a video about like ADHD and illustration and things that I do. And like I talk about a lot of stuff in that video that is great when I actually do it, but it's hard for me to actually do those things. And one of them is like using a timer to like just work on things for a specific amount of time, because it's hard for me to not just want to do something until it's done. So in that regard, definitely using timers for me is really beneficial, but I don't always do it. Because I definitely I feel the desire to want to finish something once I start it. It's hard to stop. Instead of knocking out those letters, I think I like that better. Cool. I like this. I hope you like it too. Actually, there's one thing I want to do. It's a quick fix. Yep. All right, look at all this stuff we accumulated. That was a noodle fest. Next up is a short one. Owen. Isn't that nice? Skippy, you said, have you ever done any technical drafting? No way, Jose. Unless it's like something I'm doing for myself. Glad you like it, Alberto. No, that kind of stuff is not fun for me at all. Like precision and technical, or like even I consider that the same as like realism, or like copying something exact as possible. I don't feel like it's art. I feel like it's like technical skill hobby sort of thing, and it's not my interest. Now, what do we do for Owen? Maybe we just get a little bit more wacky, maybe a little looser for this one. It's also tricky when it's like short, because it's like, you know, there's not that much to work with. I do like the circle shape is like a rotating, and like everything else sort of like it's all sort of flowing around. I don't know if that makes sense logically or in any sense, but there's something about it. I wonder if I can somehow tie it in so it's like one continuous path. Oh, but then the E. Well, maybe the E could be like encapsulated in this rotational. Comes through. Oh, but then the E messes everything up because it's like not shapes. What are we doing here? What happened? It is sort of an interesting shape though. Like maybe we could take that failed journey and see if it can become something. So that's, you know, sometimes something like that can lead you somewhere cool. Oh, maybe it's like this E goes into the N that way, and then this N comes back over here into that part of the W. The issue now is the W is like squished. Let's see if we can, because I like the EN. We just need to make that W less dumb. Okay, so I don't know what is happening here, but I'm not ready to. I want it to happen. I don't know what it is that I want to happen, but I want something to happen. Teak Sip Time, have you made a comic? A long time ago in art school, I did like a little comic, but I don't have the patience or I get bored with it. I also feel like I have a hard time with like stories like that. It was pretty nonsensical, I have to say. One was complete nonsense, and the other one was like revolved around this red duck that I found in a that I got in one of those like machines where you the claw machine. You know what I'm saying? The tricky part is like it's kind of hard to read. I do like that overall shape. I think if we just finesse the N a little bit to just make it read a little bit better, I think it could be cool. All right. It's weird. That's where that's what we did. It's a fun one. I like that it's so different. I hope you like it, Owen. Miss Sabrina. I forgot to check the top fans. Alberto is the king of the mountain. Skippy's number 2. And Teek's Tip Time is number 3. You are the kings of the stream. Cuckoo Burrito said you're changing your name to Owen because it's so cool. Glad you like it. Sweet. Okay. Miss Sabrina. What are we gonna do for you? I don't know what's happening, but I'm just sort of I'm vibing right now. I'm sketching too big and I'm running out of space. Apparently we're doing some sort of fancy-ish, sort of retro. Who knows? This is one of those situations where I'm not seeing anything. It's just sort of flowing. Put a little dot over the I, even though it's uppercase. I don't know. I don't like how squashed it is in the middle. I'm gonna see if I can use the bloat tool to fix that a little bit. Yeah, that's better. All right, so I'm gonna look at the areas that I like and then see what is not working for me and see if I can make that better. What that little tail is on that S, but I guess it can stay for now. Might have to shift the sketch over a little bit since we ran out of space. Okay. We're getting there. The it's just a little off center, but I think what we can do is this. I didn't love that A anyway, and I think if we punch that up a little bit, we can have this balanced out. Okay, we can do that. Sabrina Johnson, you said my son is watching with me. Biggest, cheesiest grin ever when you said my name. That's awesome. Glad to hear. All right, we'll use the classic anchor to give this some grittiness because it's got that like old vintagey aesthetic. Usually try to make myself skip around when I'm doing a final like this, when my sketch is still a little bit uncertain. That way, I don't know, it helps me to like keep it consistent without like changing a little bit as I go. Like I'll notice things like, oh, maybe I need to make something else sort of match this tapering of the N, which I guess sort of happens with the A over there. I'll fix the bottom of that afterwards. All right, let's fill it in, see if there's any areas that... wrong layer. That A is problematic already. I think I need to redraw the A. There we go. I think because, oh, yeah, it's this taper is on this crossbar is like not, I think because the vertical part of the A was so thick that you couldn't see the taper, so it just looks like it doesn't, it didn't line up right. Oops. Okay, let's erase the other one. Okay, it's pretty good. There's just this space here starting to stand out because it becomes like a focal point because it was like such a big gap and there's no other big spaces like that. I feel like the chunky line work would look good with just like a little hairline around it. For some reason, just drawing a line around everything just makes it feel finished and just, I don't know. But I also think the contrast between the line weights here will be a nice addition. All right, Miss Sabrina, I hope you like it. And unfortunately, that is all I can do today, because it's been an hour and a half, and I gotta finish up some stuff. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate all of you, and look for my new video on Tuesday. Don't forget about the big sale, 20% off. Head over to my website. You'll see the promo code BYSUMMER, and you know, that's all I have for you. Thank you very much. If I drew your name and you want it, just shoot an email to info@chrispiascik.com. And okay, good talk.